Dad,
Honey, what's wrong?
I got in an accident.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
Okay, did you call the police yet?
Yeah, I did.
I'm gonna call an advocate and you can tell us both at the same time, okay?
Hey, Sarah, your dad told me that you need help.
So, is there anything that I need to do, or...?
Just focus on getting better.
With an advocate on your side, you're never alone.
Today's the day! And look who I just met.
Hey, Dad.
You deserve a worry-free recovery. You deserve an advocate.
I really don't know that timing could be any worse here. Like, that's the thing that stands out to me about this report in the New York Post is I just think it's terrible timing. It felt like the CW news and the NBC Universal news kind of brought some calm waters. Like, okay, there's light at the end of the tunnel. And now the New York Post, of all places, is saying that Colorado could be the first school to jump from the Pac-12. And it just erupts all of this controversy and this talk again.
Mm-hmm.
And it just brings, you know what the hard part for me is? I think it brings us back to this place with the Pac-12 where now we're wondering, what's the issue? When's it going to get done? Why hasn't it gotten done yet?
You know.
And it brings me back to the issue of, well, everybody says it's no big deal. They have all this time. Baloney. They don't have all this time. What you have is a league and 10 members of that league who are all looking at each other with their hands in the air like, okay, well, if you're not going to answer my question, I'll go find answers somewhere else.
This is a code 10
and it is the lonely husband. Hey, listen, man, if the husband's lonely, he's going to find companionship somewhere. And Deion, I'm telling you, is out trolling the strip in the Big 12. That's what it feels like.
Right.
It was probably a little too graphic. But my point is, you understand what I'm saying. Like, this feels real to me.
Well, timing-wise, I think the timing portion is your best point, I think. I mean, having this come out, again, to your point, during, spring practice, again, Prime's first year in the program, right? So it's not like this is his 10th season at Colorado. It's your first time. It's your first spring practice. It's your first this, your first, like, it is the first for everything at Colorado. And
That's right.
And I think when you get news comes out about how, hey, like, Colorado, in the Big 12, and hey, there's interest there. And so yeah, it isn't great timing. I will agree with that. But I think since we're on the topic of timing, I feel like timing in a sense, yeah, it's not great, but at the same time, there is no real timetable here. I mean, we've been talking about the issue of time since last summer, dude. Like, we've been talking about, hey, it's going to get done at Thanksgiving, then Christmas, then New Year, then when your mom's ready, then when your dad's ready. Like, dude, like, we've been talking about timing issues with this situation for what seems like forever.
A year.
So, like,
a year.
Yeah, like a year. And so if I'm Deion, let's just surmise, and I'm not saying that this is the truth, but let's just surmise. Let's say that Deion said to himself, okay, yeah, I want to go out and get aggressive. I want to go out and have a conversation myself with Brett Yormark, and I want to see what the opportunity would be. I don't know if that happened, but let's say he did. What better time than now? What better time than as soon as possible to get on the same page with Brett Yormark if you are indeed interested in joining the conference? And that's the struggle. Yeah, it is spring practice. Yeah, you are trying to build a program here. Yeah, you are trying to do things. But at the same time, you can't just ignore the conference and the lack of health that's in the conference,
right.
Dude. Like,
exactly right. And I think that's the easy narrative to play if you're the Pac-12. Hey, everything's fine here. Hey, listen, don't pay attention to the house that's on fire behind me. You focus on me now. Okay, I'm the captain now. Focus on me, right? Like, that's what this feels like.
Yeah.
Like the Pac-12 is burning to the ground, and everybody's like, no, it's fine. And it's not fine. And again, it doesn't matter almost which side you come down on. The truth of the matter is that Brett Yormark, I think, the commissioner of the Big 12, I think Brett Yormark has spoken this into existence.
I'm for real.
Because it's hard if you're a Pac-12 team that has aspirations, or a Pac-12 school that has aspirations of joining the Big 12. So let's even say the Arizonas, Colorado, and I don't know, Utah. They have aspirations, let's say. We know for almost for fact, they've all spoken to the Big 12.
Yeah.
You're sitting here in the Pac-12 with no money, and you're watching the Big 12 just going to town high on the hog.
Yeah.
Like, they're not eating pig's feet, dude. They're eating like the best of the best.
Y'all feel me?
And you're sitting here starving, and you feel like you're accomplishing absolutely nothing. But Brett Yormark is doing a Rucker Park deal, and Brett Yormark has Shaq DJing the Big 12 basketball tournament, and you're just watching all of this stuff happen again and again and again, and you're Gonzaga, and you're contemplating your future, and you have an invitation to both the Big 12 and the Pac-12, which we've exclusively reported here on the show. How are you looking at the Pac-12 as more attractive than the Big 12? And I'm here for it today. Honestly, all the truck stop conference jerks, or, all of the, look, Big 12 football brought to you by Flying J. Hey, I'm here for it, dude. But honestly, tell me, how are you going to make the argument that the Pac-12 is more attractive than the Big 12? Because I just don't think you can do it. I truly do not.
Yeah, and that's why I said, like, for a guy like Prime, who, like, let's not forget what Prime's done here. I mean, Prime had to go in to Colorado and get them to lower the academic standards so that he could recruit more guys into his program. And so they have a good working relationship, that being Prime and the head honchos at Colorado. Clearly, they've got a good relationship here, and clearly, like, they're talking. And I feel like I can't get away from this idea that it makes sense. Like, even, like, just take out all the video stuff and all the cool stuff Prime's doing. Like, just look at Prime as just an individual. Prime has always been that guy that's playing offense. He's always been the guy that wanted to be the enigma, the two-sport guy, the guy that was in your face, the guy that was better than you. Like, he's always been that guy. And so just on a baseline, before you even get to numbers and leaving the conference or whatever, on a baseline, it just makes perfect sense because you just added this guy. He's doing things for you already. Do we all agree that Colorado's been, like, this offseason for Colorado's been the biggest offseason they've had in a while? Just from, like, a
probably in my
relevancy
lifetime.
standpoint,
I'm 50 years old. Probably in my lifetime that I can remember, this is the biggest offseason I can ever remember at Colorado.
So when you're having a huge offseason and you've got this conference stuff going on, it just to me, yeah, it is bad timing. Yeah, this is a little surprising on one hand, but on another hand, it's not surprising to me at all, man. It makes sense. And
I guess the other question to be asked here is, would Colorado leaving the Pac-12 be a significant blow to the conference? And I'm telling you, I passionately believe it would. I think the excitement that Deion Sanders has brought to the conference, I think the fact that they're probably going to have full houses in Boulder this fall, I think the relevance of Colorado football, and if this were to happen, you'd be talking about a year and 2 months from now. So you go through this season with Colorado and then another spring football, and then they're gone. And it just feels like this is a catastrophic move for the Pac-12. And I say that because I am of the belief that you can't lose a single school. You can't lose a single school in the Pac-12 and expect to thrive on any level. Because, again, if you go to the stories and you go to the talking points that we've had on this conference, our sources have told us that San Diego State is essentially just on the clock. They're in the Pac-12.
Come on, let's go, Schlep Rock.
They're just waiting for a TV deal, and then they're going to be in. So let's say you replace Colorado with San Diego State. Okay, I would think that that's like for like. Boulder Market says, okay, fine. But now you're back at 10, so now what happens when Arizona leaves? Because if one leaves, this is the domino effect. I think if Colorado jumps, other schools will follow them.
That's it, Skippy.
Once they see that the door's open, I don't see any way that you prevent other institutions from joining Colorado in the Big 12 because the money and the allure is too much, especially if Brett Yormark is really delivering the value per school that we're hearing about, these Rucker Park deals. What is Deion Sanders like standing center court at Rucker Park?
Dude.
Like, think about that. Think about the pull of being around a guy like that. If you're a basketball player, I think you still want to be around Deion Sanders.
Please.
Like, I think that matters. I think Deion Sanders is a magnet. So when we talk about would Colorado be a loss for the Pac-12, I think it absolutely. A year ago, probably not. Now, yeah, I absolutely think it's a loss for the conference.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the other thing when you compare Colorado to San Diego State is San Diego State doesn't have Prime. Like, well, I mean, you can say whatever you want about Colorado, but the reality is, like, whether it's Jackson State or Colorado, Prime has always been a magnetic guy. And that's why I say, like, again, we can't go too far with it. He hasn't won a game. He hasn't done anything in the conference yet, but I think he's already having an impact from marketing to, revenue opportunities. Like, he's having that impact. And so that's why I say, like, you're totally right. If Colorado jumps ship, now it's up to Arizona. Hey, Arizona, you going to go? And if Arizona goes, Arizona State's going. And if Arizona State's going, who's to say that Utah doesn't have a change of heart? Because the other thing that goes on here is once schools start leaving, then it's like, okay, well, hey, Colorado just left. Are we really not going to go and check if the pasture's greener on the other side of the fence? Are we really not going to go?
The emotions change.
Yeah.
When you see one of your brethren bail, your emotions change. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Everybody is a verbal tough guy until they're forced to move off their spot. Until they're made really uncomfortable. Losing another Pac-12 school would make the other remaining 9 very uncomfortable. And I think that you would see. I'm with you. I think Arizona wants to go.
Yeah.
No, the landscape, the comments. Again, and it's easy for us here on the Monty Show to just put their own words up on the screen. Like you look at what Robbins said about knowing the Big 12's number. Look at this quote. This is from President Robbins at Arizona. I know what the Big 12 number is. I just need to hear what the Pac-12 number is. Then I can make a decision.
Yes.
And he's talked about also Dennis Dodd, CBS Sports, quoting President Robbins at Arizona, painted a nuanced picture for Arizona, citing the school's proximity to the Big 12 footprint and that league's powerhouse basketball brand as the basis for, quote, some affinities.
All gas, no break.
Right? Like, President Robbins, I think if he had his druthers, would be in the Big 12 today.
Yeah.
That's what those kind of quotes make you feel like. So I don't have any doubt that if this New York Post story is true, and really it's New York Post one-liner is true, that Colorado could very well be the first team to jump. Dude, I don't think there's any question in my mind that we're talking about weeks here. We're not talking about months. And again, if you're just tuning into the show and if you're new here, I will just tell you what we've talked about for months on end. Our sources at ESPN have told us they're not willing to go any more than $90 million a year. And this was about 3 weeks ago. We're not willing to go any more than $90 million a year. And what that means is $9 million per school on linear TV, and then the Pac-12 would have to go and find a streaming partner. And the answer to that was, hey, we're going to talk to NBC Universal, who we've exclusively reported on the show. NBC Universal would use USA Network as the home for Pac-12 athletics, football, and basketball. And they would use the Peacock streaming app and the Peacock streaming platform as a streaming platform. But that would only get them probably $17 to $20 million per school per year. It's not nearly enough.
Right.
And the question is, does the relationship with NBC, knowing that you would only have a game or two for the entire season on the big NBC network, because don't forget they have NASCAR, don't forget they've got all kinds of Big Ten programming coming up in the next deal. They've got Notre Dame that they're trying to renew on a larger deal. Okay, so maybe NBC Universal is not the best option. Last week we heard, hey, the CW is interested, and we were telling you, hey, the problem with the CW is they do not have owned and operated stations all throughout the footprint of the Pac-12, and we showed you this map of the CW owned and operated stations, because that's what this is. And you'll notice it in Arizona and in Washington. There are no dots. Now, that does not mean that there are not CW television stations there. But what that means is the CW does not control the programming on those stations. And this is very much akin to Live Golf. And what do we know about Live Golf on the CW? A large number, including major markets, have said we're not going to carry Live Golf. We don't want to air their programming. So they did this great deal with the CW, and Live Golf's not on but a quarter of the stations on the CW network.
Yeah.
So you start to understand that, okay, well, we control the owned and operateds. Well, that's all well and good until the CW cuts people's heads off and refuses to air Live Golf. Okay, so now are you telling me, and I'll put this map back up, look at Chicago, right? Because you know you have WGN TV in Chicago. Do you really think Oregon State and Washington is a game that WGN Chicago is interested in? I can't believe they would be interested in that game. I cannot believe that would happen.
Is that a real question?
I can't believe that New York, New Jersey. I can't believe the Carolinas. I can't believe that, the Ohios, the Indianas, the Pennsylvanias, the upstate New Yorks are interested in that programming. Yeah. I can't believe that the CW in New Orleans is going to air Oregon State and Stanford football on a Saturday afternoon. Like, I have a hard time with that. So we've talked about the limitations of that deal. Our sources have said repeatedly that Pac-12 presidents, including, because we've talked to people in a lot of places, including at the top of the food chain at Utah, who told us ESPN's really got to be involved for this to be the deal we need it to be.
Yeah.
ESPN and the Pac-12 have a fractured relationship at this point, have not spoken in weeks, and currently do not have a deal on the table. And that's where the Pac-12 is. So a report out of the New York Post that has Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes and the University of Colorado going back to the Big 12 really is not that surprising.
Yeah.
That's just kind of, I think, the entirety of where the Pac-12 TV deal is right now. And then again, you have this situation in the Big 12 where I truly believe that Brett Yormark does not have to do a thing. He has to do nothing.
Yeah.
Because he knows he's likely to get Gonzaga. I think no matter what the TV deal is, he's likely to get two schools from the Pac-12.
Gonzaga.
And he really has to do nothing because who else does he have on his side? Well, he's got ESPN. And my opinion is that ESPN would not bat an eye at the failure of the Pac-12.
It is what it is.
In fact, it would not. I think it's too strong to say that ESPN is working to collapse the Pac-12. I think that's too much. They are certainly at ESPN, in my opinion, not going out of their way to save the Pac-12.
They ain't losing sleep over the Pac-12, bro.
Because they own the football and basketball rights along with Fox in the Big 12. So what happens if the Pac-12 fails? Well, the majority of those schools are going to wind up in the Big 12. And they already have that landscape.
Too bad.
So the limited amount of programming that ESPN needs from the Pac-12 will be handed to them on a silver platter if the Pac-12 goes away.
Yep.
And I think that's the reality of the arrogance that has been the Pac-12 now for the better part of their existence. And it did not improve with Larry Scott leaving.
Yeah.
It did not.
And I think that's why ESPN has been like, hey, take it or leave it, right? Like, because ESPN knows
Certainly.
one way or the other, you guys are going to merge with the Big 12. At some point, you're either going to merge and survive or you're going to die and we're going to pick up the trash. I mean, that's what it is.
I agree. Oh, can I finish?
Please, yes.
Can I finish? Thank you. Can I finish? Bucked Up is the official energy drink of the Monty Show. So before we get to all your comments, good to see everybody on the show today. Good to see all of your comments. Join me in cracking open the singularly best flavor of Bucked Up Energy, in my opinion. Some Miami.
Good.
Take a big gulp with me. Bucked Up Energy. Have you had it? You got to get it. It's in every Maverick store in Utah. So if you live in Utah, go get Miami. It's at every Maverick. Adventure's first stop. Maverick. You can get it at Walmart. You can get it at any of the Bucked Up stores. But also, how about we give you some free samples? Because you know we like giving stuff away in the show. 3 free samples and a free Bucked Up shaker. And folks, They are the best bucked up shaker. Now, you know I'm getting my colonoscopy on Thursday, so my regular big bucked up shaker, well, I'm using it for prep on Wednesday. Don't forget we'll be off on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So that the evacuation of the lower half may happen.
Yeah.
The bucked up shakers are phenomenal. Get a free one of any color combination you want. 3 free samples. Please take my word for it and get the racked BCAs or the LFG pre-workout. They're awesome. It's all in the description below right here on our YouTube channel. If you're listening on podcasts, there's also a link below on there. Click the free samples link. They'll send them right to your door for free at Bucked Up Energy, the official energy partner of the Monty Show. And I will always say the reason they're the best, it tastes good. It works better than it tastes. And I just love their brand. It's aggressive. They're hip. They're moving. They answer to their customers. I just love everything that Ryan Gardner and his brother and his family have built at Bucked Up Energy, a local Utah company, entrepreneurs to their core.
Facts.
Go get the free samples in the link below. Let's get your thoughts in here. First one in today is Marlon Shaw, who gives us $5. What a great way to generate pub for Colorado. Their name will be on every sports show if they make the jump first. Could be a brilliant move.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Absolutely.
They are 100% incentivized to do it.
Yeah, I agree, Marlon. Good to see you. Zesties, retro, and games. What do you see as the first domino and when? I maintain Arizona will be the first one to go. And if we're talking about real firsts, I think once this Pac-12 TV deal is announced, that truly could be the first domino. Because I also think that once that happens, you're going to see a bunch of things happen in reaction to that. I think Gonzaga absolutely could be one of the first ones to go. I think there's no question about that. And I think it is long before July. I think that July 1st is just a ripcord that people are using to kind of mitigate the damage of what has been an atrociously long period of nothingness. I honestly, I think George Kliavkoff has done nothing and has been able to do nothing. And now, from what I understand, is not authorized by the presidents of the Pac-12 to speak to the media. He has to get permission to do that. I mean, it's brutal. And again, I tell you, we have sent an email every week to the Big 12 asking for Brett Yormark to join us on the show. Today, we finally got a response. Brett Yormark is not speaking to the media at this time.
So what does that tell you?
Very simple response.
What does that tell you, though? Because this is somebody who's done great work in the media.
Why would you?
Precisely.
Why would you? There's no reason to do that. There is no reason for Brett Yormark to say 2 words because all he can do is go down from here because my guy's at the top, man. The guy has been absolutely brilliant. MJ Bassett, if the Pac is interested in linear TV exposure, why haven't Sinclair Stadium TV, name not in the rumor mill? Because I think Sinclair has their cash spent in other places. And as a Chicago Cubs fan, I can tell you that Sinclair has a significant investment in those things. I also think the Bally's TV and some of the financial drag that we have seen there and the massive amount of debt that is involved there, I think plays a significant role there. There's no question about that. Seems like a better fit with sports channel branding over the air and streaming built in. I think your best fit here is Amazon Prime Sports. Let's stop screwing around. In my opinion, and I'm happy to hear from you guys. In my opinion, the absolute best fit in this situation is ESPN and Amazon Prime Sports. Get it done. Mm-hmm. Get it done. The reason it hasn't been done, and again, this is just my opinion, the reason it's not been done is because we were told very early in this process, I think back in October, that ESPN does not view Amazon as a competitor. Right. They just do not. And they were not going to, I think what Brett Yormark tried to do with Amazon was to bring ESPN into a fight, into a battle, and he was not going to do it. And I think ESPN got very smart and said, oh, that's cool. That's great. And I think that right there is where the fracture with ESPN began.
You mean George Kliavkoff?
Yes, I'm sorry. What did I say?
Brett.
Yeah, George Kliavkoff wanted to go to Amazon and bring a competitor into the conversation. And ESPN wasn't willing to do it.
Yeah.
ESPN was like, hey, cool, dude, good luck.
Which is brilliant. I mean, isn't that the type of decision and type of mentality that ESPN, or really that's made ESPN who they are today? I mean, you look at everything from, hell, remember back in the day when the whole, hey, people are not reading the magazine anymore and ESPN's going to die and they're not going to survive. And then what did ESPN go ahead and do? They started ESPN Plus, and now we're here today watching the Masters all last week on ESPN Plus, because that's what we want. That's what we crave. And that's why I say, like, if the Pac-12 was smart, they would do something way out of left field. Get crazy with it. Go all in on streaming, and I think they would be heavily rewarded by the consumer.
I think that there is no doubt, and again, this is just my opinion, but there is no doubt in my mind that when we look at the situation at ESPN, that ESPN's made a lot of mistakes in the space. Like the late assimilation to streaming was a huge mistake. There's just no question about that.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. And you yet understand that their billions allowed them to recover with an event like UFC over the weekend, or you look at the way that ESPN Plus and ESPN the app have exploded, and the adoption of ESPN the app on just about everybody's phone and smart TV. Because I can tell you right now, I watched the Masters recap the other night on my phone through the ESPN app. We watched the Masters stream on TV, right? I mean,
featured groups.
Guys, I think ESPN has reacted brilliantly. Clinton, appreciate you and the super chat. First time Clinton's ever given us a super chat. Says Sports Business Journal reporting that Pac-12 COO leaving for a communication agency. Yes, that is correct. Jamie is gone. Leaving by the end of the week, by Friday. Yes, which is insignificant. I'm not the guy that's like, oh my God,
the Pac is burning.
I think people take jobs, and I don't think this is an indication of, because what everybody will spin this into is, oh my God, it's over. It's not over. This is somebody taking a job. And could it be that Jamie sees the end of the world? Because Jamie Zaninovich is somebody that's really well thought of, really sharp, really smart. There's no reason that Jamie wouldn't be getting recruited. I mean, but this isn't all the ships going down, I'm jumping off now.
Yeah.
That's not what this is. That's not what it is at all. So I don't think it is. I don't think that's what this is at all. Patrick Boren, hello. The new Big 12 is reminding me of the old Alabama chant, roll, tide, roll.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you ain't wrong about that. Salty Drunk, how the heck are you? I bet Ron McClure was gifted his membership. Okay. Ron McClure says, I think and you guys believe, LOL. Okay, I don't know what that means. Two Masters says, Monty will be the first to go number 2 on Wednesday. I will. Bros, okay, so. And I see all the colonoscopy stuff. I'm having a colonoscopy Thursday. You basically have to drink 56 ounces of laxatives the day before. And not only that, what are you doing Thursday morning at 3? Why don't you come over to the crib and drink another 28 ounces of laxatives with me? I have to get up at 3 o'clock on Thursday, 4 hours. My colonoscopy is at 7 o'clock on Thursday. 4 hours before the colonoscopy, I have to drink another 28 ounces of laxatives. All right, put a towel on the driver's seat. Okay? All right, let's move on.
Good talk.
Good times, right? Good times. That's the way the world works. Jim Choi. Yup, a really smart deputy commissioner of the PAC from degrees from Stanford and Princeton. Yeah, very, very smart.
I don't think I agree with you. I don't think you can just jump to the conclusion as to why. I mean,
I don't think so either.
You know, that her having degrees could easily be why she took the position. I mean,
was attractive.
Yeah, or was attractive or whatever. Like, you know, like it just, yeah.
I just don't think that I'm not willing to go that far.
Yeah.
You know, I just think that it is, Yeah, I don't know. Thank you, Scott Rayner, for the $10 tip. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Let's see. Zesty gives us $2 more. Do you see the Pac-12 surviving football season without a deal? Well, yeah, their money's in place. I think a lot of people have this belief in that, oh my God, the Pac-12 is just one day we're going to turn on the TV and there will be no more Pac-12. It doesn't work that way. The Pac-12 is going to get paid through July of 2024. The question is what happens after that date. That's what we're all talking about. So they have their standard TV deal as it is now. So I would not worry. Like it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Again, Scott, thanks for the $10 tip. Appreciate it. Marlon Shaw gives us 5 more. Jamie disassociating himself from the Kliavkoff taint. That is smart by him. It is. I mean, if you're truly leaving because the conference is crashing, yeah, you're probably better off going now than later. But I just don't think that's what's going on, in my opinion. Jerry Davis says if the Pac-10 is sinking ship, we think it could be Mountain West hold on to San Diego State and get Oregon State, Washington State, and maybe convince North Dakota State and Texas school. What? Okay. I don't know what that means. Like, that's all well and good.
I think it's too far there. I mean, you just can't.
I mean, trying to go that far down the road is not going to get you anywhere. Renee Roca says 6 votes wouldn't be enough to change anything unless other universities agree with them. Okay, I don't disagree with that. Riley O'Brien says, hey, Monty.
Hey, Monty.
Greatest RV salesman in the country. Riley O'Brien, you need an RV or anything RV, make sure you hit up Riley. Good to see you. Sebesta, what's up? Cal is a critical piece here. Some of their current P10 members rely on Cal for research partnership dollars. Totally agree. Don in Kansas. Christopher Shannon says, Don in Kansas, exactly. Don't want the uppityness to infect the Big 12.
It's so funny.
It is so funny. Let's see. Jaron Eccles, a Cubs fan. God bless you. And me. I think we should all come together and praise the holy Danny Ainge for getting rid of Rudy and turning that disaster of a player into multiple future championships. We'll talk about that coming up at about 20 minutes. Look at you guys on the super chat. Appreciate everybody. $4.99 from 1984 national champions BYU.
Yeah, national champions.
Like in our members only Instagram chat today, I kind of lost my patience for the BYU versus Utah. Like Tanner Plummer, the super soaker, puts in the members only Instagram chat today, which you can join, by the way. Hit the join button, and I'll put a link in the comments right now. For $9.99 a month, you get access into our Instagram members only chat.
Stay hard.
Tanner puts in there today, well, hey, bro, look at the view at BYU baseball. Can't tell me Utah's got a view like that.
Hey, guys.
Like, who cares? Who cares? I'm so over that.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the comparison stuff.
Yeah.
That absolutely drives me crazy, the comparison stuff. Let's see. Dusty827. Colorado can only leave if the Pac refuses grant of rights. Can't leave on their own. Certainly they can leave on their own.
Yeah, they can.
It's as simple as their contract is up.
And you have no, respectfully, you don't understand grant of rights if you think that that George Kliavkoff is in control of grant of rights. He's not.
He has no control over the grant of right. The way, and again, I don't mind saying it. The way that the grant of rights works is very simple. George Kliavkoff is working with an executive council, which is 3 presidents, led by President Kase at Washington. They are essentially working hand in hand. Kliavkoff goes out, talks to whoever he wants to talk to, gets the best TV deal he can get, returns that TV deal that, let's say it's ESPN and Amazon, and it's for this amount of money. That goes to the executive committee who's like, okay, this is great. They kick it down to the other 7 members. All 7 of those members have to agree to it and sign their grant of rights.
That's not what we're about.
You don't sign the grant of rights to the TV partner. You sign the grant of rights to the conference, and the deal for TV and distribution is with the conference. It is not between Stanford and ESPN.
Yeah.
It's between ESPN and the Pac-12 conference. So it isn't as though Colorado's like, oh, yeah, I'm out. See you later. Well, the way that works is their grant of rights runs through July 1st of 2024. That's when it expires. And at that point, they're a free agent. So what are you seeing with USC and UCLA? Well, what you're seeing is they're saying, okay, hey, we're leaving July 1st of 2024. See you guys later. So they can announce it whenever they want. They can't leave unless they pay their way out. They can't leave until July 1st, 2024.
Yeah.
That's when they can go. Same thing with, like, it's different for BYU, even though BYU was an independent, had a TV deal with the Big 12. Like, it's different for all of these schools based on their grant of rights. In the ACC, nobody's leaving because it's $500 million penalty to get out of that grant of rights. So nobody's leaving. But when your grant of rights is expired, nobody's telling you where to go or what to do. You know. CJ Vance, what's up? He says, hey guys, just renewed my BYU season tickets. Let's go.
Dad,
Honey, what's wrong?
I got in an accident.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
Okay, did you call the police yet?
Yeah, I did.
I'm going to call an advocate and you can tell us both at the same time, okay?
Hey, Sarah, your dad told me that you need help.
So, is there anything that I need to do? Or...
Just focus on getting better.
With an advocate on your side, you're never alone.
Today's the day. And look who I just met.
Hey, Dad.
You deserve a worry-free recovery. You deserve an advocate.
But I do want to start with this situation at Colorado, because I do think it's fascinating how many people are absolutely falling over themselves to get Deion Sanders. And he hasn't won anything yet. And the question I always bring myself back to is, what has Deion Sanders done to accumulate all this belief that the Big 12 has to have Colorado because of Deion Sanders, that the Pac-12 can't lose Colorado because of Deion Sanders? Jake, what has Deion Sanders done to garner all that attention?
Yeah, I mean, I think he hasn't lost yet. Now, the places he's been as a head coach, obviously, are lower end. They're not Pac-12. They're not P5. They're not, coup de grace, like no doubt about it. This guy's a winner type places. But I think that there is a ton of transparency around his life. And I think it allows people to more easily believe that this guy can build a winning culture. And really, I think that is the core of the belief in Deion, whether we're talking about the Amazon show that he's doing or, whatever you want to look to. I believe because there's transparency in the guy's life and he's constantly showing you what he's doing, that it allows you to say, okay, yeah, I do believe in this guy. He does set a standard. He does have a level of accountability. He does kick players out of meetings because they wear jewelry when they're not supposed to. Like, he actually does follow through on the things he's supposed to follow through on. And I think that ultimately, when we get down to the core, is why people believe in Deion. For me personally, I believe in the guy because I just think that he has that it factor. Not the it factor that made him a celebrity, but more the it factor that makes players want to play their ass off for him. And I think that at its core is why he will be successful as a head coach, especially at the college level. I don't know if you were to put Deion in an NFL locker room, I'm not so sure that he'd be successful because I just think it's a different dynamic. You don't have, like, you've already made it. You're already getting paid. But when
the corny thing, you mean? Is that like, I feel like there is a bit like to the Pastor Prime thing. Like it feels a little corny to me at times when you listen to his message. Now, a lot of what he talks about, the way you live your life, the way you handle women, like the way you handle school and opportunities, a lot of that resonates with me. But I do think there's quite a bit of Deion that's an act.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, maybe. But I think whether it's an act or it's real, it's working. I mean, he hasn't played a game yet, but you're obviously seeing that he's recruiting. He's doing well. Obviously, NIL has been going well for their program. He's been taking care of the business side of college football. So I don't know. I understand why you might have some hesitations, but I don't hesitate on this guy. This guy feels like someone who, at a minimum, is not going to be as bad as they were. And I know that's not the bar, right? But for Colorado, the reality of the situation is you brought Prime in to be better. You brought Prime in so that your program could be more successful, could be better at recruiting guys, could be better at doing NIL deals, could be better at like just overall college footballing. And I think that, for me, in the first season for Deion, is what I would be looking for. I'm not telling you they're going to win the Pac-12 right out the gate. I'm not telling you that they're going to be a 10-win team. I'm not telling you all that's coming year one. But I do think they're going to be better than 500. I do think that they're going to be able to beat anybody they play. They're also going to have some bad losses, 100%, because I think Deion, one of his weaknesses is because he amps his team, because they're always playing right up to the limit. Sometimes you're going to make mistakes. Sometimes, Shador is not going to have a good game. Sometimes, things just aren't going to work out. So my expectation would be, 2 games over 500. That's what I would look at, an 8-win team, something like that. That's what I would expect out of Deion in his first year at Colorado. But I think the other side of this conversation is obviously the Big 12, right? Hey, should the Big 12 value Deion? Should the Big 12 add Colorado because Deion has Colorado? And I'm not so sure that I say yes to that. But what I'm going to say is it doesn't hurt Colorado's resume to have Deion Sanders coaching your football team, because of what he did as a pro and because of what he's done so far. And I don't know how someone disagrees with that, man.
I don't even disagree with that. But the thing that I struggle with is this hype machine. I struggle with the idea that Colorado's any more valuable the day they hired Deion than they were the day before. They haven't played a game yet. If they don't come out this year and become markedly better than they were last year, how much damage is done to Deion Sanders? And furthermore, if you put Colorado in the Big 12 in 2 years, are they successful? Do they win a significant amount of games? I don't think they do. I really don't. I think this is 3 to 5 years away from Colorado being a real contender for any conference at their end, let it be the Pac-12 or the Big 12. I just don't think that Deion or, Pastor Prime or Coach Prime or whatever the shtick is these days, you can't do what you did at Jackson State and think that's going to be good enough at Colorado.
God bless.
Bottom line, I think he has a long way to go. And again, I love his messaging. I'm not trying to hate on the guy. I'm not telling you that he's a terrible coach, because certainly he is not. But what I am telling you is that I think he has a lot of proving to do. I think he has a lot of work to do. Mm-hmm. And I think Colorado, in this meeting that they had today, and if you missed it, the Colorado Board of Regents had a meeting today to talk about the Pac-12, amongst other things. And we're told that there was not a lot of substance that came out of that. There was not a resounding, hey, we're going to the Big 12. There was not a resounding, hey, we're staying in the Pac-12. It feels like not a lot came out of that meeting. Now, that may change over the next 6 hours as people start talking more. But from what we understand, there was nothing substantive coming out of that meeting. And I mainly because I will maintain what I've been told for months now. I don't see a Pac-12 president that is dying to abandon the conference for the Big 12. I don't. And I think that includes Colorado. I think Colorado is a lovely fit in the culture of the Pac-12. I think, obviously, with its history, it's a lovely fit in the Big 12.
Yeah.
But if we're truth-telling, Colorado really is inconsequential. Because I don't think they ever consistently win in any major sport, whether it be football or basketball or any other sport you want to point to, whether it's Prime or somebody else. There are obvious issues built in. Educationally, they are trying to do things to help the football program. I totally understand that. But until we see those things on the field, I don't believe you can just nod your head and rubber stamp that Deion Sanders is taking Colorado to the college football playoff, and that's just a fact, because, Jake, I don't think it's a fact.
No, I don't think that's a fact at all. And furthermore, I'd say, again, and I want to be really clear of my stance. I believe in Deion 100%. I think that Deion will do great things at the D1 level in a P5 conference. I think he will. At the same time, I think that saying that this guy is going to take his program to the college football playoff in year one is absolutely ridiculous. I mean,
a bowl game in year one.
Yeah, I mean, I think even a bowl game. You're right. A bowl game in year one, I think, would be a hell of an accomplishment. I mean, I think we have no choice but to compare Deion Sanders to Lincoln Riley here, going to USC, because obviously, like, Lincoln Riley had a bunch of experience at Oklahoma, right? Like, he had his success, did some great things. But year one at USC proved to be a bit challenging. There's a lot that goes into building a program. So I agree with you that it takes 2-3 years to build up a program to be Pac-12 championship caliber or competitive. But at the same time, imagine if Deion Sanders won 9 games his first year. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And really hear me out on this, because this applies to Utah. This applies to several other schools in the Pac, and really, in my opinion, any business in the world. Anytime that you have a bunch of success in year one doing something new, you need to tell that story. And Deion uniquely understands that proposition. And so he doesn't even need to win a bowl game or make a bowl appearance or even be, in my opinion, bowl eligible to have Colorado be incredibly relevant in college football. Because that's the next thing. If we really think about this, isn't that the next thing in helping to make your case for bowl games and the college football playoff? Because
Yes.
think about it. What are a lot of these programs not doing? Well, they're not doing reality TV or like documentary style TV the way Deion's doing it, right? Like, I don't see Alabama or Georgia doing what Deion's doing. Well, because they don't have to, because they're a great team.
But I would remind you, they were what, 1-8? I think they won one game last year.
They were terrible.
They were 1-8 in conference last year.
Yeah.
1-8, 1-11 in their 12-game schedule. And now all of a sudden they are front and center. Now all of a sudden, and I agree with you. You know, it's not that Prime was a Hall of Famer and a great NFL player and a great college football player. All of that's true. I think it's because he gets it. He's on social, and not even Deion Sanders is not on social. He's got a guy who's on social for him.
Facts.
He's got a videographer that follows him around. He's got a cutter who follows him around. You know what he's doing. It builds excitement. He treats people well for the most part in the public-facing arenas anyway. He treats people well. He acts like he's a rock star. He assumes he's going to be the best in the business.
Facts.
And that's infectious. And for my money, that's why Deion Sanders, nobody's thinking about the fact that Colorado was 1-11 last year. Nobody is thinking about that. Nobody's thinking about nobody's thinking about Bill McCartney. Nobody's thinking about any of the struggles since the McCartney success. None of that.
Who the f*** is that guy?
They're excited about Deion Sanders. They can't wait for spring football. They can't wait. Like, already, look at the weight room film that we're seeing already.
Yes.
Look at the tape coming out of the Colorado weight room. Look at all of the gear they're wearing, all of the branded shirts they're wearing with all of his sayings on them. Like, seriously, it's already been a remarkable culture shift at Colorado.
Yeah.
So has he been successful already? I don't know how you can't say it.
Yeah.
I think he's already been successful.
Absolutely, positively, 100%. He's been successful. I think that it just, you know, when you get down to the nitty gritty of like, hey, you're standing on the white paint on the football field, calling the play into Shador, and you're down 7 with 90 seconds to go and one timeout. Yeah. Then we'll find out how successful you are. But I'm not going to sit here and hate on this guy. I don't think that it's a stretch or too much to say that he's done a good job so far. And I agree. The proof is in the pudding, 100%. All of this is for naught if you go out and you're a 1-11 team again.
That's right.
All of it's for naught. But I think we can all agree that they're going to be better than 1-11.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable saying they're at least a 6-win team. That's what I'm comfortable saying. I'm not comfortable going past that number. If you go past that number, great. If you go 7 or 8 wins, great. But 500 is the minimum for a guy who played in the NFL, for a guy who has the culture he has, for a guy that runs the program the way he runs it. 500 is the minimum, in my opinion, no matter how bad your roster is. That, I think, is the minimum. So that's why I say, I think just the baseline, like, big picture conversation about is Prime successful? Yeah, he's been successful so far. But I think this Big 12 angle and, like, how Brett Yormark, as an example, would view Colorado now that Prime is there versus before Prime was there, like, that to me is impactful because from a business standpoint, right? From a business standpoint, Prime is very valuable. Prime is somebody who can really help you tell the story of your conference. Like, if you have last year, just as an example, because we all saw what happened with TCU. Imagine if Colorado was in the Big 12 last year and Prime had a chance to play TCU and had lost to TCU on TCU's way to the college football playoff final. You would have had all that behind-the-scenes stuff because Prime's doing that. That's why I'm saying the Pac-12 has value in Colorado. The Big 12 has value in Colorado.
Well, he's a revenue stream.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that nobody wants to talk about is that Deion Sanders is absolutely a revenue stream. And I think when you look at Prime, and I think when you look at what they were last year, you look at what he immediately instilled at Jackson State. I think the other thing that you have to remember is Jackson State is nowhere near Boulder, Colorado, and I don't think you can compare what he did at Jackson State to what he's going to do in Boulder Because at the HBCUs, I think you inject just a little bit of money and a lot of enthusiasm, you're going to win games.
Yep.
Because you have a wealth of passion already in the community for football. You bring in talent, you go and get a guy like Deion Sanders. It's only natural that your community is going to get behind that team. There's going to be energy. People want to play there.
Facts.
Like, that's natural. What I care about that Deion did at Jackson State is he coached guys up.
Yes.
And he built an incredible coaching staff. That's the other thing at Colorado. He's got an amazing coaching staff there. They're going to coach their guys up. He's bringing culture and guys who know how to coach football. That's why Colorado is going to be better. But they're not going to be Utah, USC, Oregon. They're not going to be Washington. Are they going to be Washington State, Oregon State? No, probably not. Probably not. They're probably going to be a lower end team in the conference. And I think for his first year, if they win 5 games, if they get to a bowl, it's absolutely anything beyond 6 wins.
Yeah.
is cherry on top.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
No, I don't even know that there's any other way to look at it. Let's get your comments in here. Good afternoon, everybody. Good to see you. By the way, thank you so much. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Yeah.
Record-setting day yesterday on the program for new memberships. Everybody in DMs and in the comments was thrilled to see that we added a $1.99 membership tier. Now, again, I want to make sure we're all on the same page with this. The $1.99 membership tier does not get you into our members-only Instagram
Stop
group.
emailing me trying to sneak into the Instagram group, okay?
A lot of people did that. The $1.99 membership tier does not get you into the Instagram group.
My fucking ass.
It just doesn't. You have to pay $9.99 a month or whatever it is, $10 a month, to get into the Instagram group, which gets you all of our inside information. It gets you information on the Big 5-0 birthday bash. It gets you automatic entry into the Big 5-0 birthday bash. Like, you get a lot of stuff with the $9.99 membership. The $1.99 simply was the ability to be a part of the show, be a part of our community, be designated in the chat as a member of the show, and we appreciate the support.
Yes, we do.
And a lot of people asked us, hey, I can't afford the $10 a month. Can we do, we did $2 a month. And you know what? I'm thrilled that you guys are here and doing it. I really am. Go Black 45 says, I can tell you, Monty, that down here with Grambling, the lack of funding and caring has ruined that historic program. Oh, it has.
Yeah.
It has. And the HBCUs are in this really unique position where funding is a huge issue. I think we all recognize that. But I think most, like Reggie Theus at Bethune-Cookman found this out the hard way. You bring in a guy like Ed Reed, young guys like Deion and Ed Reed are going to want to do it their way. And it's not going to line up with how you've always done business. No. And for those you don't know, Ed Reed, the Football Hall of Famer, tremendous, passionate guy, said some really hard things about Bethune-Cookman on social media.
Yeah.
And so they decided not to hire him after they had an agreement.
Better send those refunds.
They never had pen to paper. And Ed went in and started cleaning out, and he basically said, hey, my office is disgustingly dirty. This is embarrassing. And so Bethune-Cookman said, yeah, we're not going to hire you.
The ink isn't dry yet.
Yeah, brutal. But when you have a guy like Deion Sanders that comes in, he injects a bunch of energy. He injects a bunch of money. He gets guys paid. He brings in recruits. There's the good side and then the terrible side. Grambling should never be down in football.
Yeah.
Grambling should never be down in football, ever. It just should never happen. Hey, how about that? Let's go.
First one of the day, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Get the ball rolling, Brad.
Our first one, Brad Turner, our first new member of the program today. I haven't even gotten to put the link in the chat yet. You can always click the join button. Appreciate that. Let's go, Brad Turner. Appreciate you. Who's first in today? First comment of the day. Hey, my guy Lopes
Old
Van
reliable,
Gabe.
bro.
1 week from tomorrow, we will be hanging out with our Phoenix crew, all of our Phoenix listeners. We are going to Oregano's in Old Town Scottsdale. Lopes Van Gabe's going to be there. Fat Jesus is going to be there. Giggity's going to be there.
We will have shows for you next week. Don't freak out and say, "What? You guys are going on vacation?"
No, we're not.
We're doing shows next week, okay?
You guys, when do we ever go on vacation? Can I ask you, like,
We don't.
When do we ever, we're going to spring training. We're leaving Sunday. We're going to go spend a week in Mesa, watch the Cubs. Of course, now it is forecasted to, rain, unfortunately.
Bonnie, please.
I just don't.
Whatever.
Whatever. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how that plays out, but we will be doing shows next week. We will be off next Friday, St. Patrick's Day. But other than that, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, live in Mesa at spring training. It's going to be a blast. This week has been an absolute roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
Jazz Perch says, good Wednesday, guys. What's up? Brandon Trujillo says, what's all this rumbling about there potentially being a sports book involved with the Pac-12 media rights and the Pac-12 network hiring more people in the production department? So a lot of people in Pac-12 country are talking about the fact that the Pac-12 has opened a production facility in the South Bay in San Ramon, California. And essentially what they're doing is they're not going to have a TV network or networks in the Pac-12 networks anymore. They're going to be producing content. Now, does that mean features and shoulder content for games, or is that, hey, this is our production house for football, basketball, live sporting events? Could be a combination of both.
Yeah.
That's known already. That is not a surprise. The sportsbook thing has been talked about for a few months, and it is a way for the Pac-12 to generate new revenue. The issue is that, and I think we've talked a lot about this on the show, that there is a split over whether or not you should be able to go full stream on an Amazon, an Apple TV. Well, the problem is there's no money in that, right? There's no money in that. And you're losing money on that deal. So what a lot of people have talked about is bringing in, name your favorite sports book, whether it is, I don't know, BetMGM, right? Bring in BetMGM to be the official betting partner of the Pac-12 conference. That way it's an influx of cash. They bring you this, they bring you that. The bottom line is it makes up for the lack or shortfall of revenue in the conference. Now, is the NCAA going to pass that? I think that could be tough. I think that could be very tough. But if you're the Pac-12 networks, or if you're the Pac-12, content creation company, you don't really care about that because all of your content will be brought to you by BetMGM. So there are a bunch of different business models. I don't know how all of that shakes out. I don't know exactly how up and up or how on the up people would view a college sports conference doing business head to head, essentially hand to hand with a BetMGM or any other sports book, Caesars or FanDuel or Fanatics, whoever you want to point to. But it's absolutely a revenue stream, and it's absolutely coming. Because one of the things you got to remember now, in a lot of the NFL stadiums that college games are played in, there's a sports book already in that stadium. It is the next incarnation of gambling in this country, unless you're in the great state of Utah and several others, where you're not allowed to gamble on sports. But it's absolutely coming. I mean, you should get ready for the fact that your favorite college sports team is probably at some point going to be in bed with a gambling operation. And I know that there are some, there are not a lot. There are some in this country that are, but the bottom line is I think it is in my mind, it is one of the things that the Pac-12 has to do, because when you're left behind the curve and you don't have the money that the Big Ten has, or even that the Big 12 has, I mean, it's a big revenue shortfall. That's the reality of it.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, you look at sports books, you look at, advertising, you look at any way that a college program could make, revenue. And I think that you need to be open to it. I think that, gambling in this country is something that is like looked down upon. I feel like sometimes people feel like, oh, well, we're causing like people to like lose themselves or ruin their life. And I'm here to say, like, gambling is just another thing. Whether we're talking alcohol, whether we're talking guns, whether we're talking cigarettes, drugs, whatever. Gambling's right up that alley for me. And I feel like, if a sports book wanted to get involved to help the Pac-12 survive, let's say, then more power to them, man. Because ultimately, a sports book is a bank of sorts. You know what I mean? Like, you're giving them their money, or you are giving them your money, and obviously, depending on the result, you may get more money back or you may not. And to me, I just think that it's business, man. Like, sports books are always going to be involved, and I just wish that we would have some more flexibility around it, because ultimately, we know, like, we have OG viewers on this program that gamble every day in this state, right? Like, even though Utah's, against it, like, I know people that do it. It's no secret that it happens. So I don't know why we run from the whole sports book gambling, thing. It just isn't necessary. And frankly, it's a revenue source that I feel like should be leveraged to as high a level as possible.
The gambling thing has bothered me for a long time, because I just don't see any reason that it should be taboo. Why is it taboo? Help me understand why gambling on any sport is taboo. All around the rest of the world, it's all anybody does. In our country, you can smoke cigarettes, you can drink as much alcohol as you want. In certain states, you can smoke weed, but you can't gamble on sports.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that we don't have a national referendum on gambling.
Yeah.
It is truly shocking to me, in a country where we want gun rights and we want all this other stuff, but what we don't want is your freedom when it comes to certain things. Mm-hmm. And I think sports gambling is absolutely one of those that I think we really have to take a hard look at and wonder to ourselves, like, what are we talking about here? What are we really talking about here when it comes to sports gambling? And are we being a little hypocritical? Are we being a little altruistic about it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, welcome David Semesto.
Let's go. Welcome to the program.
Let's go, David. Love it, my man. This is so much fun, you guys. This is so much fun that we are able to do this stuff. And I will tell you real quickly what I am doing on my phone. Because I'm sure it's obnoxious looking at me holding my phone. I have been invited to be on TMZ tomorrow. So I have to have a Skype account. I do not have a Skype account. So right now.
Just do it later.
But
you need to do it later. Why?
I can't necessarily do it later because I need to do it now. It doesn't matter. Anyway. So that's what I'm being distracted with on my phone.
Yeah.
David, welcome to the Monty Show membership. Appreciate you supporting the show. Design Good Business said, are the Pac-10 presidents or executive boards being presented an updated media proposal this week? There is going to be a meeting in Las Vegas during the men's basketball tournament at the end of this week. I'm told Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I don't believe that they're going to get an updated media proposal. I think they are going to touch base. And I think there's a lot of reports out there that say, the presidents remain unified. I believe that's highly unlikely.
Uh-huh.
We have heard from people for weeks now that they are anything but unified.
Right.
So I don't believe that they are unified. I really don't. John Grove says a dinosaur can graduate from Oregon State and Washington State. They aren't any better academically. Well, dinosaurs aren't real, though.
Right.
I thought.
Right.
I mean, well, they're extinct and stuff. Matt Hartley says there is no way the schools don't have a number, even if they don't have the full paperwork. Oh, they know the number.
Yeah.
Again, we've told you this for weeks and months now. The number was for us anyways, $25 million for 7 years with Amazon and ESPN.
Yeah.
We were told late last week that number was down to 22 for 5 years, and that's where the cap is now. That's that based on the structure. We were told that ESPN could carry a potential of 2 games a week, and that Amazon was really interested, or at least at this point has been talking about doing a game of a week, likely on a game of the week for the Pac-12 on a Friday night.
Yeah.
And the issue is who gets the best game of the weekend. And I believe that that's going to be ESPN, because I think they know that they need that game. The Pac-12 needs that game on ESPN, ABC, the big, the app, and ESPN Plus. There's only one way to get that.
Yeah.
That's with Amazon not having weekend content and ESPN carrying the Saturday package. So I think that's likely where you are with it. But 22 million is not a doable number.
No.
It's not a doable number. And we can keep going back to Ray Anderson a couple of weeks ago saying that financially it was going to be good enough, that they were going to be able to keep the conference together.
Congratulations, but that's bullshit.
But I'm not buying that at all. Our sources, and again, I'm not trying to tell you who we know, or we have sources right in the middle of this thing. And they have never told us that this conference is unified.
Yeah.
We've told you for weeks, and all of the Pac-12 homers got on us about it. We have told you for weeks and months that President Kase at Washington pretty much sits atop of the Pac-12. We have told you for months and months that George Kliavkoff does not have autonomy. Mm-hmm. He does not direct anybody to do anything. We have told you that for months and months. We have told you that the presidents are very much out of alignment on how much streaming. George Kliavkoff, I think, would like to have it be 90% streaming and one game a week on ESPN. I think if it were up to him, that's what he would do.
Yeah.
President Kase has said straight away at Washington she does not believe that 100% streaming, or really she does not believe that mostly streaming can be doable right now.
Right.
And I think that's why you're seeing there's been no grant of rights. There's been no formal announcement. There's been no unity. Because again, go back on our channel and look at our content. We've told you the deal's done. It is what it is. It's not getting any better. It is only getting worse.
Dad,
Honey, what's wrong?
I got in an accident.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
Okay, did you call the police yet?
Yeah, I did.
I'm going to call an advocate, and you can tell us both at the same time, okay?
Hey, Sarah, your dad told me that you need help.
So, is there anything that I need to do? Or...
Just focus on getting better.
With an advocate on your side, you're never alone.
Today's the day. And look who I just met.
Hey, Dad.
You deserve a worry-free recovery. You deserve an advocate.
10 to the hour every hour, football at 50. We bring you the biggest stories in football. And today I think it's Coach Prime. I want to add this conversation about Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Just right from the jump here on Football at 50, presented by Papa Murphy's Pizza. Make sure you use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Is Deion Sanders the cure for what ails Colorado? Is this the Lincoln Riley conversation? We knew when Lincoln Riley took the job at SC, they were going to compete for a Pac-12 championship right now. Is Deion Sanders going to bring Colorado from the bottom to the top right now? Somehow I don't see that happening. And I have a lot of respect for what Coach Prime's done at Jackson State. I love the fact that he took the job, but he's not going to bail on that team. They're going to, he's going to go and play their bowl game and try to win. I love that. But you can't tell me that Deion Sanders isn't going to go full Urban Meyer and whack the bottom 25% or probably bottom 35, 40% of that Colorado roster. He's going to bring in a bunch of dudes in the transfer portal, including his son, to be the starting quarterback. You can't tell me that Colorado doesn't instantly become an attractive destination right now in the Pac-12. I have a hard time believing that they can win the Pac-12 or play for the Pac-12 championship, but you can't tell me he's not bowl eligible next year, because I have to believe that Colorado's bowl eligible next year, Jake.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that, this hire and this whole situation, I think Prime's going to get one chance. You're going to get one chance to prove what you can do in this program. And I think that he is going to have to use the portal, and they are going to have to go out and win games. Because I got news for you, Prime. If you win 2 games in your first season, it's over. You'll still be the coach, but you're not going to get respected. You're not going to have the sales pitch of we were 15-0 at Jackson State or whatever the hell they were, right? You don't. Once you have that one bad season right out the gate, that changes everything reputationally speaking. So that's what I'm saying. This first season, you are going to see an exodus at Colorado, and you are going to see him bring in a ton of people. There's no question about it.
Yep, here's Coach Prime talking to his Buffaloes.
We got a few positions already taken care of because I'm bringing my luggage with me. And it's Louis. Okay. It ain't going to be no more of the mess that these wonderful fans, the student body, and some of your parents have put up with for probably 2 decades now. I'm coming. And when I get here, it's going to be change. So I want y'all to get ready to go ahead and jump in that portal and do whatever you're going to get. Because the more you jump in, the more room you make. Because we bring kids that are smart. Say that, smart. Smart. Tough.
Bro.
The more of you jump in, the more room I have because we bring in kids. So go ahead and jump in the portal. Do what you're going to get. I love that. I love the swagger. I love the attitude because, frankly, that hasn't been in Boulder in a long time. And I agree with him. This program's been a disappointment for probably 10 years. The Philip Lindsay teams were probably the best teams they've had in recent memory.
Yep.
Dude, if you're not excited for Coach Prime to be in the Pac-12, you're not a football fan.
But I'm not saying he's got to win the Pac-12 year one, but you have to be bowl eligible year one. I don't think it's about wins and losses. You have to be a better football team. I mean, exponentially, visibly a better football team right now than you were at any point in this past season. Yeah.
And I think they're absolutely going to be because he is a good football coach.
Yeah.
There is no doubt about that. He has, and the thing that I love about Prime is he has cameras with him all the time in every room that he is in. There is somebody there filming what he's saying and what he's doing. One, it protects him, and I love that. Two, it shows you what he's doing and what he's saying. And they're winning on the field at Jackson State, which they haven't done. He's the difference there. Can he do that in the Pac-12? Why wouldn't he be able to do that?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he be able to do that? I think he is.
I think the only difference is just talent level. Obviously, you're jumping to a P5, and that's great. I love that, and I don't doubt his ability. It's just like when you go up against the SCs and the Oregons and the Utahs, that's a little different than what you were facing at Jackson State. That said, I still think that he can be really successful. Yeah,
I am super stoked about it. I love it. Does he impact the Big 12 TV deal or the Pac-12 TV deal with Amazon? I don't think he does. Not right out of the gate. If it was a year from now, I'd say, yeah, he probably does. I don't think Deion Sanders has reach or impact on the current TV negotiations.
I think the only impact he could have is in a bigger picture. So if you think about how improved the Pac-12 is, now that SC is better, Utah's good, Oregon's good, Oregon State is good, Penix is coming back to Washington.
Which is shocking.
Yeah, shocking.
He would have been a first-round pick.
Shocking, yes, but really good for the Pac-12 in terms of TV deals.
But what does the Penix return tell you? Kids are making money, and they're going to stay in school.
Yeah.
They're going to stay longer, man. That's what that says to me, which is good for the TV deal.
Yeah, so if Prime can do the yeoman's work at Colorado, if Lincoln Riley can get to the college football playoff next year, and then you have these other schools, the Washington, Oregon, Utah, Oregon State even, the Pac-12 is slowly but surely getting some more value. So yeah, I think in that sense, Prime can help them.
Yeah, I think Prime will help them, and I think Prime will help them, do a lot of things, including ordering their Papa Murphy's pizza.
Papa Murphy's presents How to Change the Way You Pizza. Step 1, carefully knead dough. Step 2, artfully spread sauce. Step 3, add fresh mozzarella and assemble toppings. Step 4, realize we already did all that for you, so all you have to do is bake it. For a limited time only, get the Hog Heaven Pizza with Canadian bacon, ground sausage, and crispy bacon. Papa Murphy's, change the way you pizza.
When you've been injured in an accident, you need a lawyer, and you deserve an advocate. Insurance companies don't always play fair, but we can keep them in check. Most cases settle out of court, but we'll take your case to trial if necessary. You deserve an advocate.
Real quick, can we talk about Deion Sanders?
Yes. Let's piss some people off talking about this.
So the atheists are pissed. Look, I really don't care what your religious belief is. I don't, if you don't believe in God or you do believe in God, all right, cool, man.
In God's name, image, and likeness.
I'm with you. But talk specifically about Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Homie got hired at Colorado. The homie who hired him at Colorado knew who Deion was, right? Like, it's no secret. You knew who Deion was. Deion is a God-fearing, Christ-loving, 8-toed football coach. Right? That's who Deion Sanders is.
Right.
So when you hired him at Colorado, did you think he wasn't going to pray with his players? Did you think he was going to stop praying with his players? Apparently, atheist groups in Colorado thought he would. Because there is now controversy over Deion Sanders. Atheist groups are upset, and particularly Freedom from Religion Foundation is upset that Deion Sanders is praying with his football players. It is our understanding that on December 20th, 2022, a staff member led other staff members in a Christian prayer to start an official meeting. More egregiously, on January 16th, 2023, Coach Sanders, Deion Sanders, directed a staff member to lead players and coaches in Christian prayer before a team meeting. It appears for these examples that Coach Sanders includes prayer in all of his team meetings and events, and likely prays regularly with his team.
God bless.
Well, yeah. Do you know how I know that? Because he chronicles his life on Instagram and YouTube, and guess what he does a lot?
It's not a secret.
He prays a lot.
Why is this a problem?
Did you not watch his show on Amazon? Where everything he starts and ends is prayer? Where every time he yells at a kid, when he's done yelling at the kid, they pray together?
That's every day.
This is who this dude is. So now you're upset that he's at Colorado. What, Jackson State didn't upset you? It's fine that he prays at Jackson State, but now he's up in Boulder.
You know, at a P5.
And now we can't pray in public.
Oh, okay. Got it.
They weren't done.
Oh, well.
The letter goes on and says, well, he was coaching at Jackson State. He required the team to participate in a call and response prayer. Repeat after me, the Lord, I love you. Lord, I thank you. Lord, I magnify you. Without you, I wouldn't be a thing. In Jesus' name, amen. Yes, I saw that episode of the show too. Here's the thing I don't understand.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, wait. Who is this complaining again?
An atheist group in Colorado, Freedom from Religion Foundation.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with people being atheist. I don't have a problem with you being Christian. I don't have a problem if you are Jewish, Muslim, Catholic, Roman Catholic. I don't care. It's all the same to me. I'm confident and I feel comfortable with my faith and where I am.
God bless.
Right? Okay, great.
Cool.
Why do you care? Why are we writing letters? Because you're upset about a situation that does not impact you. Now, if your kid was on the team and your kid was uncomfortable, yeah, write a letter, make a call. But that's not what they're saying here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to run a foundation, great. But why are you trying to go after a guy because he prays with his kids?
Know your role and shut your mouth.
Furthermore, do you have evidence that kids don't want to pray with him? Do you have evidence that he forced somebody to be a Christian or they couldn't be on his team? Then I'd be upset.
Yeah.
If Deion said, hey, you're Muslim, you're out. Hey, you're Jewish, you're out. Hey, you're an atheist? Nah, you're out. But you had no evidence he did that. And again, I asked this, like here in Utah, this is those damn Mormons.
Right.
What I'm trying to figure out is, why are you going after somebody who has no impact on you? Duke volleyball or South Carolina basketball?
Yeah, I mean, I think the angle is that they feel like you know, this. You said this is an atheist foundation. Okay,
it is.
So that's their foundation's belief, and so it's their mission, I would guess, to make sure that, you know, there are issues created around when someone is praying, and, you know, whatever. I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like, you know, the whole concept of religion bothers people. And I've never really understood it. I understand it when it starts bleeding into forcing someone, right? Again, it's the Jerry Jones thing. Anytime you start forcing someone to do something they don't want to do, now you got a problem. But I agree. This is not new out of Prime. This was happening in Jackson State.
This guy is.
This guy has been doing this for a long time. You didn't have any problem, when he was praying before games. You didn't have a problem when, he was doing this as a player. Like, I don't have a problem with this. And I agree with what you said. Hey, if you have a kid in the program and you don't agree with this, okay, totally get it, dude. Send a letter, cause a problem. If you're not cool with that and your kid's in the program, I totally understand. If Prime had said, hey, you got to pray with us as a group, like you got to be like in the team meeting, before the team meeting, you have to be there for group prayer before the team meeting starts, or you're off the team. Okay, now we have a problem. Now we got a problem.
But how like this has been a long-standing narrative about BYU. I mean, church on Sundays, like I can tell you at Notre Dame, it's not optional. You're going to church like every day. You're going to mass every day at Notre Dame. At BYU, you have to. Oh God, Mrs. Monty is on the text machine.
Yeah, she's right there in the comments section.
She is. Oh, she is. She is. Mrs. Monty says it's a problem to force someone who doesn't believe in that God to pray to it, but you don't know that that's happened.
Yeah. Notice they don't say that, right? And you can show it, like, if you want to show it again, like, they didn't say that. They didn't say,
no,
hey, like a bunch of people, 3-4 kids are in the room in the program and they're uncomfortable. Now, if it comes out that they are uncomfortable and they're not about this and he's making them do it, okay, now we have a problem. But we haven't crossed that threshold yet. This is basically just saying, hey, he's doing this and it's a problem because we're atheists. So who's really doing the forcing here?
I would agree with that. And the thing that I don't like, again, not to be redundant, and you guys are probably tired of hearing me say this, but if your kid's on the football team and he's an atheist and Deion makes him pray, okay, now we have a problem. But that's not the case here. And what they're saying, and the other thing is they're being jerks about it. Please remind Deion he's a football coach, not a pastor.
This is a sports show. Don't talk politics.
Well,
right? Like, that's the same narrative.
I think you're trying to create a problem where one does not exist. That honestly, that's the biggest issue here, is I don't see that there's a problem here.
Mm-hmm.
And until there is one, I just don't, like, I feel like this is people getting offended by it.
Oh, that's definitely what it is. We need to keep saying it because I don't want this to get misconstrued. I don't know that that's how I would run a football program, but I'm not Deion Sanders, bro. I'm not Prime. I don't have Prime's perspective. I don't have Prime's experience. I didn't play in the NFL. Like it's different, dude. Like dude has lived a very different life.
That's right.
And I feel comfortable saying, from personal experience and from just observing, most pro athletes are God-fearing individuals in one form or another. I'm not going to say most pro athletes are Christian or Catholic or Muslim, but most of them believe in the higher power. Most of them believe that they were put in a very advantageous position because of the athletic ability that they were born with. Like, they believe in that. So I guess, I do kind of have a hard time believing that anyone has a problem at Colorado with what Prime's doing. This feels like a dog barking.
This feels like somebody trying to pick a fight. And again, I just think the Freedom from Religion, and I don't want to get their name wrong, the Freedom from Religion Foundation does very good work.
Yeah.
I think it's they're not a small organization, but this is looking for a fight. That I feel like that's what this is. I think that it's really important. I think we victimize atheists. I think we tend to look at atheists as the lost when they're quite literally the opposite.
Right.
And Mrs. Monty probably should be on the show to talk about this because she is an atheist.
Right.
But I think the thing that really stands out to me is I hate when we pick fights where there isn't one. I hate when we create problems when there isn't one.
Let me pose this question, though. For them, for the foundation, right? They feel like there is one. That's the tough part. Like, with their belief system, they feel like, because they're atheists, they feel like this is a problem. They feel like, hey, there shouldn't be, prayer of any variety, don't think it's unique to Christianity, to be honest with you. I think prayer of any variety, if we're being serious, in a football program. And I'm telling you that praying and like saying, like the whole bless up thing that we always joke about, do you think that Steph Curry just does that on accident? You think that football players just do that on accident? No. It's literally what they believe, So that's why I say, like, until it comes out that there are kids in the program who are not cool with this is simply a foundation barking. That's what it is.
Yeah, I agree. Greg Hawkins says freedom from religious foundation has done some good work in the past. I don't personally have a problem with prayer in schools, but I do not agree with school-led prayer. Perhaps if a student led the prayer, it would solve this. Yeah, perhaps. I just don't know why we're picking a fight here. And then there's savagery in the comments as well. Jeremy Callahan would like to know. The real question is Deion praying hard enough for the media rights deal? God, are you there? God. Oh no, Creflo Dollar. I was looking for God, but you'll do. Creflo. That was a Creflo Dollar. Do you know who Creflo Dollar is?
No.
Oh my God, you don't know who Creflo Dollar is? Oh my God. Tell me somebody in the comments know who Creflo Dollar is.
Bro.
You don't know who Creflo Dollar is? Creflo Dollar is a TV. He's Joel Osteen, but better. Like Creflo Dollar is
I've never seen Creflo Dollar in my life.
You've never seen Creflo?
Never.
Oh my God. Creflo Dollar. Dude, he is like the evangelist of TV evangelists. Like, God, are you there? Can you hear my prayer, God? Oh, hello, Deion. How are you? I just think we this feels like an argument about something that, oh God. Open the door again, Jake. Hello, God. God, is that you? God. Oh, fuck.
That was awesome, bro.
Hi. Well, hello, Mrs. Monty. Is that you?
Hi.
Well, hey there.
Hey, guys.
Do you know who Creflo Dollar is?
Yeah. Why?
You know who is, like, people, Jake doesn't, the big surprise, Jake doesn't know who Creflo Dollar is. Are you surprised by that?
What Jake doesn't know about? I'm not surprised by that.
You know, okay. Do you know who Joel Osteen is?
Yes, of course.
Tammy Faye Baker.
No.
Oh my gosh.
You don't know who Tammy Faye Baker is?
Bro,
why would he know?
Okay.
He would have
You guys,
no knowledge
Let me
of
guess.
that. He did not grow up
Buddy is
in
from
a
the 70s.
Just Google.
heavily
No.
religious house. I grew up in a heavily religious house. I know who the Bakers are. I grew up in a Baptist house.
Praise Jesus.
Praise
Wait,
Jesus.
we're not allowed to pray on the show because Deion does that for us now. So what would you like to say about our friends at the Freedom from Religion Foundation?
I get you're saying that there wasn't a student that spoke up about it. There probably was. There probably was. But here's the issue. Why are we allowing for one God to be prayed to, and we're not giving equal time to all the gods then? Let's just give equal time to all the gods then, and we can have a breakout for everybody who wants to pray to all the different gods.
You can't do that.
And then the people who don't want to pray to a god because they don't believe in gods can be...
No, you can't do that because you're going to cut into weight room time then.
Oh.
And we got...
What do you bench?
We got, what does Deion say? We got team meetings.
We coming.
We coming.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In all seriousness, though, I have, you know what I think this is? And I don't think you're probably wrong. I would guess somebody lodged an official public complaint. And my guess is that it's somebody who Deion's like, yeah, hey, I'm coming, and it's Louis. Go ahead and hop in the transfer portal. This is where that speech, I'm being serious. We've all, Mrs. Monty and I watched it together. I know Jake has watched it naked on the couch, wrapped in saran wrap. Like,
next question.
You and I both know Okay. This is probably somebody who was like, I'm offended that he said they should get in the portal because his kid's going to be quarterback.
So, well, here's the thing. If you have a head coach that is heavily invested in a God, believes this God helps him win, and is asking everyone to pray to this God before a game, during meetings, anyone who doesn't believe that, they're either going to have to be really brave to stand up and say, hey, dude, I'm walking out, knowing that they are likely not going to get any playing time, or they will likely not have as much time as others, or maybe that they have to go to another school.
Okay.
It's the outlier. It's the me that feels uncomfortable with being forced to pray to someone else's God. That's why I don't go. That's why when I'm at family events and they want to pray to a God, I don't pray. But I'm bold enough to not pray.
Brandon Butler would like you to bring the pain train and slap our bags.
Please.
Don't.
I mean, that's a whole other kind of church.
That is.
But
there are churches who will do that for you if you like.
I've been called a goddess, but, there's all different types.
Tanner Plummer says God left the chat since Mrs. M came in. Okay.
I don't think he was ever there. That's the thing.
Eric and Raleigh says, sup, Jake, Tim, and the best part of the show, Britt. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. Capazzo says, Tammy Faye. Tammy Faye, hot as hell. Not.
Ooh, not.
Dude, you should just Google Faye Tammy Faye. And I should probably find a picture.
Yeah.
Because, Mrs. Monty, what is do you have a TV evangelist? Mine is Joel Osteen, but I honestly don't recall. Who was the other guy? Jerry Falwell?
Benny Hinn used to do
Benny Hinn!
Praise! Jeez, people would pass out on the floor. Jerry Falwell.
Benny Hinn. That brings it back. Oh, God, this picture of Tammy Faye Baker.
Bro, is that the Joker?
Oh, my, you guys, this picture of Tammy Faye.
That's the Joker.
Then I'm about to, I warn you, if you're eating dinner, you should probably not look at this next picture. Then I'm going.
Dude,
this
Tammy,
is so bad, you guys.
She had the worst mascara. She did not have water.
Should I put this picture up?
Yeah, dude. Okay. Do it. Yeah.
This is so bad. Okay, here's a picture of Tammy Faye Baker. Oh, wait, wrong picture. My bad. That was Jim. That was, let me get this comment off of here because I want full
exposure like Jera.
Yeah, full exposure like Jera. Okay, so this is Jera. This is Tammy Faye Baker. Oh my God. She is.
Dude, that's disgusting.
That's her at her, Mrs. M, would you not agree that's her at her best?
Yes. But she would really pull on the heartstrings.
That's like her at her best.
Yeah, donors when she would cry and her mascara would run down her face. And she would cry. Jesus needs for you to donate right now.
I don't know, man. I think this is, you know what, you guys, to put a bow around this Deion Sanders thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Bro.
To put a bow around this.
Bro, what are you looking at?
Just doing Google searches of Tammy Faye Baker crying. Oh my God, you guys. This is some of our worst work ever. Are you guys, it's dinner hour. Should we be putting, it's 5:30 in the mountain time. I apologize for this.
Trying to not eat.
Oh my God.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure that's photoshopped, but
damn, she needs to bless up a little more.
She blessed up.
But you're not wrong.
She got
real
millions
pictures
of dollars.
Hey, by the way, did we get any new studio art at the house today?
We did. Yes.
There's a new accoutrement coming to the studio.
Yes.
Very exciting.
So I'm super excited about that. Mrs. Monty, always a pleasure to see you.
Just to put a quick bow on it, it's just
and now
think
her
about
internet
the people.
service has gone.
I want you to listen to me.
Jim and Tammy Faye Baker. I don't know what happened to her. She got booted. I did
That's
not
out of
do
the
that.
window.
I did not do that.
Well, God did it.
God probably did it. That's terrible. Eric and Raleigh says Deion's first player meeting where he was wearing a hat while saying there will be no hat wearing in meetings shows exactly who Deion is. Is Mrs. Monty alive? No, she's gone.
No,
okay,
she
there you go.
You know.
There you go. Tanner says, Mrs. M, what makes you think that there are players who have an issue with this? Because there is part of this report is that there were public complaints. So that's really the only thing that you could, Gumby Extra Regular says, not enough fire and brimstone from Joel. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. K. Nurin says, yes, the wife will lead the way. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Tom says, send that seed money to Deion for NIL. Billy Graham. Oh, my God, Mapes. Billy Graham. You don't even know who Billy Graham is, do you? Jake has no idea.
Nope.
No idea. T. Lawrence Gragston says, Charles Stanley is the best. Never heard of him. See, there's one I don't know. Bob Larson. Don't forget America's favorite exorcist, Bob Larson. Good Lord. Eric and Raleigh says, Tammy Faye single-handedly kept makeup companies in business. Yes, she did. I have sinned against you, Baker. Exactly. Monty gonna large marge us. Whoa. No, I'm not. Court McMullen says, my dinner just came out both ends. Thanks for that photo. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Sorry if you're offended by that.
Mark Rasmussen says, why is it bad for a Christian pastor to have money? Nobody said it was bad for a Christian pastor to have money. To feed more kids and fund ministries and buy private jets, right? The problem becomes, who was that one guy? The televangelist with the private jets, and he said that he needed that to spread his message.
I can't remember. Yeah,
Kenneth Coleman.
Yeah,
Kenneth Coleman.
Dude, savage.
Yeah, do you remember this guy on Inside Edition?
Oh my God, the savage he was.
Yeah, this dude lost his mind.
Dude.
This guy right here, what's his name again? Kenneth Coleman. Do you guys know who Kenneth Coleman is?
This guy.
You guys don't remember this dude. He is, this is what's wrong with Christian pastors. I don't buy that they're Christian pastors. When homie was accosted and was like, hey, I need this. And he's like,
jackass.
Yeah, and like getting violent over it. And you guys remember that on Inside Edition?
Oh,
My
yeah,
God.
Dude. Oh, yeah. 100%.
My God. Stop it with dudes like this. That's what's wrong with televangelists.
Yes.
It's bros like that who are like, oh, got to get my third Gulf Stream.
Yeah.
Like Joel Osteen, when there's a flood in Houston, won't open his church for people. Like, it's just... Stuff like that makes me crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Anyway, a couple more of this. Charles M. said, that's him. Yes, exactly right, Charles M. Mr. Preston says, I'm debating picking up my Papa Murphy's double bacon cheddar pizza after that. You should.
Let's go.
You absolutely should. I mean, that's so bad. Jimmy Swaggart, yes, is another one.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Was that the guy who laughed like a demon when Biden bit the tangerine Twitter machine in the election beat? I don't know.
I have no idea.
I have no idea who that was. I don't know. All I know is that stuff like this Deion Sanders thing, success breeds contempt. I think that's why Deion is where he is. And maybe Mrs. Monty's right. There were complaints. He was forcing people to pray, who were not Christian or are atheists or don't have belief, he's absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
And I agree that's a problem, and it should be a problem for him because that's absolutely the wrong thing to do.
I started having second thoughts.
It's absolutely the wrong thing to do. So
yeah, I'm with you, man. Yep.
Yeah,
100%. Yep.
All right. Before we get to fast food, can we talk about Daniel Jones from the Giants real quick? No?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to.
Wow, you don't want to?
Well, I mean, it's a pretty, we can talk about him. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a pretty what?
I mean, it's a pretty, so the whole franchise tag situation in the NFL, I feel like is getting way blown out of proportion, right? Now, I agree the conversation around different quarterbacks, Lamar is obviously leading the headlines in this realm. NFL quarterbacks that should be franchise tagged. Daniel Jones, to me, is someone that should have a deal, right? Like, do the damn deal. Why are we franchise tagging? I don't understand it, man. I don't get it. Like, with that situation, because franchise tag is not about the player, it's about the situation. Like, with Lamar, you need to franchise him because he's asking for Mars and you're never going to give it to him, and you need him. The Giants, to me, like, you don't necessarily need Buddy. It'd be nice to keep him on a deal. So I don't know that a franchise tag.
Buddy.
Yeah, I don't know that I franchise tag him.
You need to make a deal with Daniel Jones so that you can use the franchise tag on Saquon Barkley. That's really what this comes down to.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I am floating out of my chair right now.
We're good.
All right, cool. The Monty Show is presented by our good friends at The Advocates, theadvocates.com. Hey, don't forget they have a blood drive coming up on the 6th. You get a free Amazon gift card. I am floating out of my chair. Theadvocates.com. Until tomorrow. Say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.
Dad,
Honey, what's wrong?
I got in an accident.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
Okay, did you call the police yet?
Yeah, I did.
I'm going to call an advocate and you can tell us both at the same time, okay?
Hey, Sarah, your dad told me that you need help.
So, is there anything that I need to do? Or...
Just focus on getting better.
With an advocate on your side, you're never alone.
Today's the day. And look who I just met.
Hey, Dad.
You deserve a worry-free recovery. You deserve an advocate.
Why do you hate Coach Prime? A very interesting development in the Colorado State game. And that is that Jay Norvell, the head coach at Colorado State, clearly does not watch television, does not listen to the radio, because he said something today, and I don't even think I'm being controversial here. He said something today that I feel like is as stupid a thing that I have heard when he went directly after Coach. So you went and took a direct shot at Deion Sanders when you said it. I don't care if they heard it in Boulder.
Mm-hmm.
And Deion Sanders, who routinely wears a hat and sunglasses, you talked about Deion directly. What do you mean Deion won't shut his mouth? First of all, is there anybody in this country that doesn't want to hear a Deion Sanders interview? Because I'm all for it. I'd love to hear another Deion Sanders interview. Is there anybody for the better part of now 6 months, because we have had very little else to talk about in the world, who hasn't been paying attention to his 3 toes almost getting cut off and Deion almost losing his leg? To which Deion said, yeah, let's make a decision. I got football games to coach. He's a great story. What do you mean he won't shut his mouth?
Yeah, you're going to have to explain that.
This is the comment right here that I'm confused by. What do you mean he won't shut his mouth? Because I have to be honest with you, we haven't heard very much from Prime since week 1. Week 1 was a huge win for that team, and he did his whole "do you believe now?"
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe now?
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe? But what have you heard him say since then? He's done a round of media. Every football coach in the country does interviews on Tuesday and Wednesday. But they don't come on the Monty Show because, But, but he does his interviews. But did you hear from Deion talking about Colorado State this week? Because I didn't. I didn't hear a word. Not one. And then Jay Norvell had to go and talk about Deion, his hat, his sunglasses, and his mom. And then Deion went to practice. Did he go on an interview? Did he go on a radio show? Did he go on SportsCenter? No. Deion went to practice. And you know what Deion did? Because he's a businessman, he put it on his social media. Deion's not calling out Norvell. Norvell's calling out Deion.
And what do you mean? Right there. Sooner fan right there. What do you mean we haven't listened to the press conference?
So he's not supposed to do a press conference. He's not. So what? And again, I'm going to play this highlight reel.
Yeah.
You tell me what in here. Start in the comment section as this is playing. You tell me what's wrong with this.
We got a few positions already taken care of because I'm bringing my luggage with me. And it's Louis.
Change now that I'm coaching. Not a darn thing. I'm not even playing the game, and you got an opinion of me. I'm not even on the field. But I'm pretty sure I get every darn coach I'm playing against, head coaches, and anything you want to do. But I love it, but I don't care. And I wish the world thought like that. I don't have time to enjoy the moment. Santa don't have time. He got to deliver the gifts. He ain't got time to enjoy his cookies. Okay? That's all he gets. I ain't got time for that. I got to keep it going. I got to keep this machine going. and make sure we stay on the right path and make sure we're locked in and we're focused on the right things. Make sure we're practicing adequately. Make sure we're giving it our all. Making sure we're making the right adjustments and playing the proper personnel. So it's a lot. It's a lot driving this train. It's not easy.
What's up, boss? You believe that? Hold on. Oh no. Do you believe in that? Huh? Oh no. I read through that bull junk you wrote down. I read through that. I sifted through all that. Yeah. Oh no. Come on. Do you believe?
Who's he calling out?
He's not calling out Jay Norvell like Jay Norvell called out Prime.
Is he talking about another coach? Is he talking about another player? Is he like all he does is compliment the other coach and the other player? You can watch his pressers, and he makes a habit after games to compliment the other team.
Who was he roasting there, since you want to bring up the post-game press conference?
Do you believe now?
He was roasting the reporter who said he didn't believe the program could be successful.
Come on. He's making himself money. He's making Colorado money.
By most reports, he made the city of Boulder $18 million over the weekend.
Hey, by the way, did anybody notice that Shedeur Sanders got another KFC NIL deal? That Hunter's got a deal, that he's making his kids money.
So I'm just trying to understand.
It's
especially as a Sooner fan. I know Soonerville hasn't exactly had the best week with good old Art on the field, so I understand why you're a little pissed off this week. But let's not make Deion out like he's doing something wrong here. He's roasting reporters for the right reasons, and he's not talking about anybody because he shouldn't. He doesn't need to. He's winning. And when he beats Jay Norvell and when he beats Colorado State and inevitably comes out and proclaims that they own the state of Colorado, Jay Norvell is not going to say a damn thing about it, because what's he going to say? I apologize to Prime? Jay Norvell's way too prideful for that. Jay Norvell's way too self-focused for that. So what exactly is Prime supposed to say or not say here? This is what I don't understand about the haters on Prime.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, Big Dog O-Town, he made the school $18 million last week alone, double his $5 million salary. If I'm Deion, I'm forcing them to tear up my contract. Yeah. And not only that, he has a great relationship with the administration at Colorado.
He's been good to his word. They hired him with money they didn't have because he said, hey, I'm going to make you that money back.
Rick George has said, I believed we would make far more money than we would pay him, and that is happening, which I think is great. El hombre negro. But when they Colorado lose, what Deion Sanders say then? That will define his character.
Yeah, that's the question. That's why I keep bringing that up. So Deion hasn't lost yet, and I don't believe he's going to lose this week. But what do they have after this week? And I've said this for 2 weeks now. Dude, you've got Oregon, then you've got SC. You're going to lose at least one of those games, if not both of those games, by most people's measuring stick.
At Oregon, home for SC, at Arizona State, Stanford, at UCLA, Oregon State, Arizona, at Washington State, at Utah. He's probably going to lose most of those road games. At Oregon, Arizona State, they're more talented than Arizona State.
I don't even think, and we've done this, everyone's done this, right? Where we've gone through the schedule, hey, what does it look like now that we know what this team is? I don't think we know what that defense can be. Deion Sanders is a defensive guy. We all understand that, right? Like, yes, the offense is outstanding, but he's a defensive-minded guy. So I have to imagine at some point the defense does get better. It's not going to get good enough, quick enough to stop Bo Nix or Caleb Williams. But I just don't understand why we want to sit here and say that, man, like, he's done all this wrong and he needs to shut his mouth and he runs his mouth. Like, yeah, he's going to lose. And then what's going to happen? All the haters, like Soonerville guy or whatever the hell this guy's name is, are going to come out and say Deion sucks and this is what happens when you talk junk. And then inevitably he's going to win a game you think he shouldn't win.
But it's what Nick Saban said on the Pat McAfee show today. And Nick Saban's going to appear on Pat Mac every Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Saban said, quote, "You never want to waste a failing. Adversity can break some people and it can make some people great. It just depends on how you deal with it." That's going to be Deion Sanders. By the way, who's Deion's mentor? Oh, that's right. It's Nick Saban.
It is what it is.
he's doing it the right way. Dolmerwa, bring in my own luggage. And he has.
And it's Louis.
And
by
it's
the
been
way,
Louis.
It's been Louis. Shador's lived up to it. Travis Hunter's lived up to it. By the way, the guy no one wants to talk about, Shiloh Sanders on the defensive end has played pretty well too. So that's what I'm saying. He's lived up to everything he said he would be.
I think if you look at the back half of that transfer portal, Dylan Edwards is somebody that nobody's talking about. Because the guy's making a huge difference for them. Like he's done what he said he would do.
Yes.
Totally agree with that. Phoenix Master, what's up, my guy? My school, Arizona, love Jed Fish, has gotten no credit despite going from winless in 2020 and 111 in 2021. Yeah, you guys were terrible. To almost making a bowl game last year. Meanwhile, Deion's getting all the hype in top-tier games right away. But what's the difference?
Yeah, I think this is a great point you bring up, but it's crucial you understand the difference.
Deion's not getting top-tier games. He's winning the games that are on his schedule, which are making the other games on his schedule primetime games. Because what's happening? They're drawing 8.8 million people for two teams that weren't supposed to be relevant this year. Colorado, and you guys understand that? Colorado and Nebraska drew 8.8 million viewers.
So when we say Prime should stop running his mouth, well, why would he stop doing the things he's been doing when he's drawing viewership, making the town money, getting NIL deals for his players? And then Arizona fan, and I totally agree with this, man. I understand why you might be salty about this. Hey, we've been improving for the last 2 years. No one's talking about us. Yeah, you know why? Because Jed Fish isn't Deion Sanders. Jed Fish, the most notable thing Jed Fish has said in the last year is when he went on that podcast and talked about the Pac-10.
No, he talked about the
Pac-10.
Pac-10. Anyway. Truth. But I think the problem is in the Pac-12 is Pac-12 networks. Yeah. The solution for Pac-12 networks is Lincoln Riley and Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lack of national game television for Lincoln Riley and Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
And if you put Deion in Arizona, you put Deion in Utah.
It doesn't matter where you put him, dude.
Put him in Washington State, they're going to be on national TV.
Because he's the X factor.
Yes.
That's what people don't want to admit. People like Jay Norvell, people like Sooner fan, people like just all the haters.
Yeah, I agree.
They don't want to admit that Deion Sanders is in that top cut of at a minimum, coaching personalities. Now, can we definitively say he's a top cut P5 football head coach? No, we can't say that because he's got to prove that he can beat the top cut of college football talent at a Power 5 level.
Correct.
Okay, great. So we can come to the middle on that. But what the haters don't want to come to the middle on is that this guy knows how to make his program money. This guy says, hey, the money issue in our athletic program, in our football program, is no longer an issue. You know why that is? Because I used the transfer portal. I did what they said that couldn't be done, right? I brought in 70 new players, and everyone said, oh, he can't do this. It's 70 new players. No culture, can't get it done. No way, no how.
But I also go back to the question of, is Deion Sanders good for college football? And I don't see how that answer is no.
How do you say he's bad for college football?
I don't know how you say it. And I love people like he's going to the NFL. Deion Sanders is not going to the NFL. Deion Sanders is about the mentorship. Deion Sanders is about growing human beings.
Yes.
Deion Sanders wants to win a national championship. And I think if Deion Sanders keeps on this path, I have no doubt that he will do that.
He's got a formula. And kids look up to him. That's why, see, this understanding of the difference between what makes an NFL coach great and a college football coach great is sometimes misconstrued, misunderstood.
Yes.
Right? The NFL head coach is great when the players respect him. When the players say, yeah, this dude's working his ass off, like, we believe in him, like, we can do what he's asking us to do. But at the NFL level, you're not going to tell a kid, hey, yeah, I can get you to the NFL. Oh, that's right, because we're already in the NFL, right? The guy's already made it.
You don't have the hammer. Purvin Meyer is probably the best example of this.
Yeah.
You don't have the hammer. Nick Saban's a great example of this.
It's a defense.
You don't have, Jim Harbaugh. Hey, man, again, I'll just go back to my experience. I was in the 49er locker room the day he chose Colin Kaepernick to be the starter over Alex Smith, and the air went out of that locker room.
Yeah.
And it's because the guys didn't respect Jim Harbaugh. So they didn't fight for Colin the way they fought for Alex Smith.
Yeah, it's about respect at the NFL level because these guys have already made it. You're in a professional work environment. At a college, it's different because these kids aspire to be something greater because they haven't gotten to that level yet. It's this whole concept of, hey, if you look back, you look back 5 years at who you were then, right? That person then would have died to have what you have now.
Yes.
And that's the difference between the league and the college level. These kids want to get to the NFL, and Deion can help them do that. And along the way, they can get KFC commercials.
Yes.
Shador and Deion can chill in the G-Wagon.
Dad,
Honey, what's wrong?
I got in an accident.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
Okay, did you call the police yet?
Yeah, I did.
I'm gonna call an advocate and you can tell us both at the same time, okay?
Hey, Sarah, your dad told me that you need help.
So, is there anything that I need to do? Or...
Just focus on getting better.
With an advocate on your side, you're never alone.
Today's the day. And look who I just met.
Hey, Dad.
You deserve a worry-free recovery. You deserve an advocate.
Is Florida State making a coaching change?
Can't resist.
Yeah.
There's a story, and most people are talking about it now. It's not like it's some exclusive here. There's a story that Florida State would fire Mike Norvell after this season if they could get one of two coaches. Deion Sanders would be their first choice.
Do you believe?
And Urban Meyer is their second choice.
Stop, dude. No. Nope. Can't do it.
Now, would good old ass grabber at a sports bar come out of retirement?
Yeah, Pervin Meyer.
Pervin Liar, please. Would everybody's favorite facilitator of domestic violence on his coaching staff come out of retirement? That's probably too much. My point is
a lot.
Would Pervin Liar come out of retirement to scold his friends in Gainesville by going to Florida State? I have a hard time believing that Urban Meyer would take the Florida State job. Would Deion Sanders leave Colorado to go to Florida State? Yes. Yeah, what did I tell you? I think Thursday or whatever day it was. Shador and Shiloh are going to the NFL. Travis Hunter is going to the NFL. Those are his three kids. Like Jimmy is Michael's kid. Travis Hunter is Deion's boy.
Yeah.
That's his son. He treats him like he's his son. That's not his. Their DNA is different. They haven't been tested as far as I know, but it's fine. Ancestry.com. It's simple. Take care of it. Jimmy Butler and Michael Jordan. But my point is, his guys
are not the guy.
Michael Jordan is Jimmy Butler's dad. Anyway, the point is, if you are Deion Sanders and your kids are going to the NFL,
yeah.
Tell me that you're in Florida State calls you and you're like, hey, Prime.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly a higher level program, no doubt.
Mike Norvell sucks as a coach. We're looking for you. If they got Deion Sanders to commit, and here's my question, would Deion Sanders take a job that's already filled? If Florida State went to Deion and said, we're going to fire Mike Norvell, but only if you take the job, I have a feeling Deion would say no to that. I don't think he would do that. Now, if it was back channeled that Mike Norvell is on the outs and we'd like to hire you, and you can bring your son who's your videographer and we can do the Amazon Prime Coach Prime show, which is phenomenal if you're not watching it, I think he would.
Florida State's done that in the past.
I think they would. And would you fire Mike Norvell? They're really bad.
Yeah, I probably would.
You guys.
So let's be fair, but needs to be said. Hey, you lost a ton of talent. There's no question about that. You're not anywhere near the same program you were. But the problem with that is it's Mike's responsibility to backfill.
They are 1-6. That's not losing talent. And I understand they got Uyunglele, but
that's the issue, isn't it?
You chose him You knew who he was. And you've lost 6 games and your only win is against Cal and you scored 14 points doing it. That's a bad football team. And you
are going to get roasted.
if you get blitzed, because you're going to Miami.
It's not if they're going to get roasted.
If you get lit up at Miami, because I mean, I can't believe I'm going to say this out loud. You are going to beat North Carolina, right? I mean, because the only team worse than you in the league, and Cal don't count. No offense, Calford, but Cal don't count.
Yeah, no duh.
Well, actually, they're not worse than you because North Carolina's got 3 wins and you've got 1. You're 1-5 in conference, dude.
Hot ass.
I could see firing Mike Norvell.
Yeah,
I could see that. There's no question about it. So, let's see. Stadium guy James is here. Hey, can you call Ryan Smith and have him put an upper deck on top of the Delta Center? Can you work that out for us? We'd appreciate it.
Hold on, bro. Like,
what team did the Mountain West add? Nobody yet. You should go back to the beginning.
Yeah, go back to the beginning of the show and digest our IPF report.
Go get a hot dog off the roller. Go get a glizzy, and then head on back. Go Balance. Prime may go to FSU if we in Florida legalize marijuana in a few weeks. Otherwise, no. Do you think he's a weed smoker?
Why are you taking shots at Prime, dude? Come on.
You guys don't think you're going to legalize? Well,
don't.
Good
No.
old Ronnie ain't going to let you.
No, not doing it.
That's probably true. No. Force Ghost Fabio. No one, the stadium guy James. Rumor is Mountain West and Grand Canyon in talks B-ball only. Okay. Chewy Gonzalez. FSU already snubbed Deion Sanders. I doubt it. Well, and that's a common refrain. And it's not a bad point, but has Deion, I think he's changed everybody's opinions now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the only one telling you anymore that they're vastly improved.
Yeah, Feinbaum's saying you're improved, you're doing something right.
Oh, is Feinbaum even on the train? Because he hates Coach Prime.
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, Deion Sanders has built a really solid foundation now at Colorado.
Yeah.
And your kids are going to the NFL. I think he would do it. Sir Bob Lob, I don't think he's getting fired. That's the real question. If you're Florida State, are you firing Mike Norvell?
If you can get Deion, yeah, you are. Yeah.
I think that is what is his career? I should have looked at this. I apologize. What is Mike Norvell's career record?
Not enough to too much.
Not enough to too much. Good old Mikey is 70-38. Well, that's not elite. 70-38. Here's the problem, though. In conference, he's 20-18 in conference.
Yeah.
That's not good.
By the way,
and he's 32-23 over. This is his 5th season at Florida State already?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And he's only been to 2 bowl games, and we remember last year.
He's been pretty mediocre. He has.
He was way better at Memphis.
And by the way, got to point it out since we're talking about
this
the
is
ACC.
His 5th year at Florida State?
Yes.
It's probably different than what you're thinking, though.
Got to talk about Dabo real quick as far as it pertains to Mike Norvell. Clemson loses to Georgia week 1. Clemson's routed off 5 in a row now, 6 in a row. And I'm not a Clemson guy. I'm definitely not a Dabo guy. But as far as, hey, is Mike going to get fired? Talk is concerned.
Do they have a quality win though? And I'm not trying. Who are you?
No. But I'm not saying I'm not trying to have the CFP conversation. I'm saying if you look around the conference and you say, hey, it's us and it's Clemson. Clemson's in a way better spot with Dabo right now.
Don't forget SMU now.
Yeah, and don't forget about Tarrant County, all hat, no cattle, 50-gallon bucket hat people.
Listen, read the front of our jersey stick. It's Dallas.
Yeah.
We really did.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.